Welcome back. You join us just at the tail end of August. I picked up this new seeder in the shop here. The one I had for spreading the grass seed, it felt a bit too cheaty. I couldn't use that for putting in crops. So went down, spent a bit of money and got this massy one. It's actually quite late on in August now, 7 o'clock. It's got dark, so I'm going to call quits for the night there. Get some sleep, but we did manage to get that field finished. It was just had to do it in the dark, so there's no point in you guys sitting watching a black screen. But it also, all this ground needs lime as well, and this little spreader's going through the lime like mad. It only holds 1,000 litres, and yeah, it's running for like 3 seconds and then it's empty again. So went down the shop, got a whole pile of bags, put them in the back of this trailer and kind of drag it around, refill it as I go. So some more sunflowers out of the greenhouse as well. Getting a nice little stock of these. It must be about 4,000 or 5,000 litres at least now in the silo. Back on with the seeder and back into the big field behind the house. Put some barley in this. Don't really have a plan on what I'm doing with these crops yet, but things like barley, wheat, all that kind of stuff, it'll be needed for the ducks. So that's never going to go to waste. There you can see what's that? Canola, barley and wheat all within those 3 fields. So that's some good winter crops in. As ever, these goats are needing a bit of feeding, so do a bit more grass work. This little small grass field that I put in, she's fully grown at the minute as well, so I may as well get that cut down before the winter frost comes in and kills it all off. There's actually quite a decent yield off that one for all the size off it there. And finally, I've got grain of my own now. I don't have to go and buy it every time for these things. I can actually fill their trough up full. So they're really starting to produce some eggs now too. That's good. They might finally be starting to pay for themselves. Ooh, yeah, 10,000 came in there just from those eggs. Happy days. Now I got rid of my last silage pits. They had to go because they were in a bad place. I wanted to put the sheds there. So I've done this temporary one up here with some straw bales. Do a little bit of landscaping for it, make it look a bit more natural. And then start throwing a couple of loads of grass in here that I've taken off this field. I will try and retain some of this grass if I can, just to feed to the goats, because they don't eat silage, and it's not worthwhile trying to make tiny bales of hay at the minute. So yeah, so I'll take this trailer around. This can be used to top up the goats, and should hopefully feed them for a day or two. Get this stuff all rolled up and get her closed up. There we go. That'll ferment away and give us a little bit of silage or a bit of income or something at some point in the future. Run over with some fertilizer and that field of grass should be good to go again. Well, whistle stopped here of August there. We're now moving on into September. And goats are actually starting to reproduce a bit, so just getting rid of some of the rams and stuff like that in them. Don't need them. And actually, yeah, I discovered the goats aren't actually producing any wool at all. Not entirely sure what exactly they do. So I swapped the goats out for sheep, because the sheep will now actually produce wool. And I've also just swapped out ducks for chickens, because I'm convinced those ducks are eating far too much. And no, there must be something screwed up somewhere on it, because they don't normally eat that much. So I swapped them out for just the in-game chickens. And also some of the little sapling trees that I planted have started to grow. Now, unfortunately, I didn't really have much of a plan, never planted them all, so they just grew in random places, so I'm having to go around and chop all of them down. As we go around, I'll probably find a few more things I've just sprouted up in the middle of pathways and whatnot here. But again, get some feed into the chickens, hopefully their intake will calm down a little bit now. And get rid of some of those bales that we made, because we just don't need them at the minute. What we do need, however, is a lot more lime. These fields are really sucking this stuff up. And with this tiny spreader, it only holds, what, 1,000 litres? Or 3,000 litres, is it? Yeah, it's really just burning through this stuff in a matter of seconds. Luckily, this isn't that expensive, but yeah, it takes a lot of it to do. And to wrap us up for the day, we'll get the sprayer out and starting these weeds in the backfield. Right folks, that's 5 minutes up again today. Hope you enjoy these whistle stop tours. We're going into our bed, we're going to have a nap. We shall see you again tomorrow. Bye now.